If he wants to make some money, Floyd want to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight
your guy Jake Paul.
No, with him too, but he could fight the guy, not Manny Pacquiao. Manny won't fight him again. But I'm talking
Canelo?
Not Canelo, Crawford.
Oh, Terrence Crawford.
You can't force Usyk to fight anybody. You can't force anyone to fight anybody. You know, the will has to be on Usyk's side.
And because his range control is so good, he's in. His nickname's the cat. He's in like a cat, and he is so accurate with what he's doing. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. That's the art of the sweet science. It is the art of...
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, Floyd feels like in a different category completely.
He made heavyweight money, but I'm talking about the heavyweight sluggers.
Yes. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the heavyweights again.
Huh?
Speaking of Floyd.
No, that's going to come back again. They always come back.
Speaking of Floyd, him and Roy Jones been going back and forth. If they were to fight, give me your opinion on who you think would win and why. And would people want to see that fight now?
Well, listen, people are all going to hate on Floyd, so they will want to see the fight. They want to see Floyd get beat. But are they going to fight?
I know they're going back and forth.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they would matter. If he wants to make some money, Floyd want to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight
your guy Jake Paul.
No, with him too, but he could fight the guy, not Manny Pacquiao. Manny won't fight him again. But I'm talking
Canelo?
Not Canelo, Crawford.
Oh, Terrence Crawford.
Floyd Mayweather and Alexander Usyk represent two very different kinds of greatness. Mayweather, a genius in the ring. He built a legacy on control, controlling distance, controlling opponents, and most importantly, controlling risk. He didn't just beat fighters, he beat the system. 50-0.
He doesn't have to do probably because his legacy is secured. He's done basically everything in boxing. And if he was to retire tomorrow, or what could happen, which has been muted, that he was going to have the Dubois fight, and then he was going to have a celebrity fight, you know, like crossover fight with an ex-MMA or something like that, which for me wouldn't be nice, because I think it would cheapen his legacy in some way. But as Addy said, pounds and pence and dollars are what count in this game.
Andy, have you spoken, or has Spencer Brown or Frank spoken to you? Because to be fair to Frank, I've spoken to Frank twice since the fight, and he does always say, it's Joseph Parker next. It's Joseph Parker next. And he says it with a bit of force as well, as though he's promised you guys that you will be next in line. Has there been a conversation with Frank as to what happens with Joseph? Because I almost feel sorry for Joseph now. It's got to the stage where every time I see Joseph, I'm like, okay, look, when are you going to fight? When are you going to fight? And he has this face of, I don't know. And it's upsetting for me as well, just to see him on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's very frustrating for him and for us as a team. But I had a brief conversation with Frank Warren as we were walking back from the ring. I said, it has to be Joe. And he said, we're going to push for Joseph. And Spencer Brown, he said, we're going to push for Joseph. David Higgins, we're going to push for Joseph. But you can't force Usyk to fight anybody. You can't force anyone to fight anybody. You know, the will has to be on Usyk's side. On Usyk's side. The will for Joe is there. He'd fight anybody. And as he's shown, but the will has to be, and the want has to be on Usyk's team.
Put your fighter hat on for me if you can, Andy, again. I mean, I saw, it's funny because the video of Dubois getting knocked out, there's you and Joe in the background, and I can see both of your reactions. When you're watching that, I mean, again, you've seen some of the best heavyweights in the world. You've been in camp with some of the best heavyweights in the world. When you're watching that, are you watching it like myself and thinking, okay, this is an all-time great you're seeing?
First and foremost, I watched it as a fan and I enjoyed the fight. And I thought Dubois started really well. But there's something about Usyk, isn't it? And just this change after round one, round two, Dubois was having some success, landing right hands.
Untouched, unmatched, unbothered. But let's be real. Floyd never chased danger. He avoided prime threats, waited out opponents, fought for money, not for legacy. Usyk, total opposite. He didn't build his resume, he earned it. Olympic gold. Undisputed at cruiserweight.
We have to appreciate from Usyk is how he so willingly down to fight anybody, right? Typically in boxing, you look at how boxing is structured. You have the Ali Act where a fighter could be like, nah, I don't want to fight him. Okay, well, we're going to strip you of your belt since you don't want to, defend that belt, right? How long does it take us to get a Gervonta Davis to fight, maybe a Devin Haney, or a Ryan Garcia fighting somebody else, right? It takes fucking forever. But now when it comes to Usyk, Usyk, he's a champion. Okay, your next title, person you have to defend against is Dubois. Perfect. Send me the contract. I will be ready. Yeah. You don't get that nowadays in boxing. You don't get that. But when he fights, that's one thing I love about him. Mm-hmm.
Just beating Daniel Dubois in a rematch, the younger guy, and he's made it look easier against him and schooled him and destroyed him. That is the pinnacle of skill in boxing. That's the pinnacle.
On the GOAT list, I've seen a lot of debate that he's top 5 already, top 10, shouldn't be in the top 10 yet. So here's my thoughts on it. I think you can put him anywhere from like number 4 to number 10 all time, but he should definitely be in everyone's top 10. 2-division undisputed champion at cruiserweight and heavyweight, and he probably has the 2 best undisputed runs of the 4-belt era. At cruiserweight, he beat everyone in enemy territory: Glowacki in Poland, Briedis in Latvia, Gassiv in Russia, Bellew in the UK. At heavyweight, he beat all the Brits, mostly on enemy territory twice. Joshua twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. Of that post-Mayweather Pacquiao era, I think he's definitely the greatest. Now, I have Usyk number 8. For reference, I have Floyd 1, Manny 2, Ali 3, Robinson 4, Duran 5, Leonard 6, Roy Jones 7, and then Usyk at 8. I know there's a whole debate right now about Usyk and Ali. Of course, Usyk's more skilled than Ali, but I think Ali's resume is greater, which is why I have him higher. But I'm curious to know how high people have Usyk now all time without recency bias.
Then he moved up to heavyweight and took over. No warm-ups, no protection. He beat Joshua in London, outclassed Fury in Saudi Arabia, dominated every challenge in hostile territory. That's not just skill, that's courage. And that's why Mike Tyson keeps giving him props. Tyson doesn't just see the wins, he sees the mentality.
Fighter in the world. Yeah. And you're figuring out a strategy of not how do I win, but how do I last?
Yeah. And that was the strategy. I had a good idea that I wasn't going to be able to knock him out.
No, but that's not the goal with a guy like that. No, but Floyd is the most precise and most. Floyd doesn't care who watches, who likes. It doesn't matter. Right. Floyd only cares about the points. Yeah. If the fight is entertaining, it's for him. It's just a strategy. Yeah. So he's kind of like the beast of fighting. Beast is like, how do I get the algorithm and the numbers?
100%.
That's how Floyd is.
Do you think he's the great? You think he's the greatest? One of the greatest.
Every great fighter in the world says technically there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Every
slips away, and it's slight motions, which is all you need to get away from a punch, right? You don't want to move too far. You're wasting a lot of energy and you can't counterattack. One of the best things about Floyd and one of the most brilliant things about him, he's one of the most elusive fighters of all time, but he didn't move around. He stood right in front of you and you couldn't fucking hit him. That's true mastery of space and true mastery of technique. In my opinion, he's the best boxer that's ever lived.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not qualified to rank people, but I watched when he was making that ascent towards it. Ended up being 50, He
just fought last weekend. This weekend, yeah, he fought a match against John Gotti's grandson, which is crazy.
That's scary for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons, right? But this is the second time they fought. The first time they fought, it ended in a brawl. Like a bunch of people jumped in the ring. It was crazy because they stopped the fight because they were talking too much shit to each other and holding on to each other too much. So the referee stopped the fight for whatever reason, I don't know. And in this fight was even crazy too because the first referee was terrible. And the referee said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. Absolutely incorrect call. Floyd threw a right hand and it caught him on the side of the head. And the referee claimed that it was behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Because he's the promoter also.
Well, I guess. I mean, also, it's Floyd Mayweather. Like, what's the referee going to do? Fuck you? I'm going to stop the fight? Like, also, they're in Mexico City. Like, you could get killed. Like, just get out of the ring, buddy. So Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100.
Usyk fights like it's life or death. He doesn't dodge the fire. He walks through it. Floyd, on the other hand, he's doing exhibitions in Japan, picking opponents with no danger. Still undefeated, but no longer chasing anything except a payday. And that's the point. Mayweather was a master of the game. Usyk, he's a throwback to the days when boxing meant proving something.
It's his foot movement he was just moving. He was just moving away, so Dubois couldn't hit him.
Couldn't get near him.
And then when he was punching Dubois, he made him look like in football terms, he made him look like a non-league player. He made him look bad.
Mate, that's the beauty of Alexander Usyk. His training with his little mate Vasyl Lomachenko, they came through the pro ranks together, well, amateur and pro ranks together, and their training regimes are completely off the textbook. They don't do it like everybody else does it. There's a lot of ballet, for example, that they use. There's a lot of gymnastics. There's a lot of different techniques, in their training that they incorporate into the game. And you can see it with the way that he fights. He is like a brutal ballerina. His footwork is absolutely sensational. What he does, he stands in range just enough, so therefore the guy that he is fighting believes that he's going to get hit in a moment. So therefore mentally you're constantly working, and therefore you're throwing at times where he's then making you miss. And because his range control is so good, he's in. His nickname's the cat. He's in like a cat, and he is so accurate with what he's doing. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. That's the art of the sweet science. It is the art of getting hit.
Appreciate Lennox stopping. A stunning win there for Alexander Usyk tonight here at Wembley. What did you make of it?
Great win. He did the right things. He did a lot of good things in the fight. I thought Daniel came out a bit too strong. Should have took his time, especially the first round. And, he was overreaching a little bit and he got caught.
Is there anyone on this planet, an active fighter, that can beat this man? He's got back-to-back wins or double wins over Fury, Joshua, and now Dubois. I mean, it's phenomenal coming up from cruiserweight.
It's phenomenal. I wish I was in this era to box, because I would have loved to box him. And, I can't see why nobody can't figure him out. I would be able to figure him out. Oh, yeah, Usyk is the best of this era. And he does the right things. He moves well. He doesn't get hit. And he's elusive. And he's hard to beat.
Lennox, just the final one. What would be your advice to Daniel Dubois? He's come back from losses before, obviously Joe Joyce, etc. But what would your advice be to this 27-year-old lion?
Keep up with boxing. This shouldn't. He should learn from this and bring it to the next fight. I don't think he should quit. I think he's got a long, good life in boxing.
Lennox, much appreciate your time this week. Have you got anything else you'd like to say?
Yes. Lennox Lewis is the best. I lay them all to rest. I'm the pugilist specialist. Nobody contests.
Love that. Top man. Thank you.
No safety nets, no gimmicks, just skill, grit, and heart. So the question is this: who deserves more respect, the man who beat the system or the man who conquered it? Usyk doesn't have a perfect record, but he's got something rarer. He takes risks at the highest level and wins anyway.
I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. I fucking love this. Honestly, I fucking love this game.
He's missed it! It's over! It's over! Impossible time!
Fuck me. I'm sorry for going on like a lunatic, right? But it was unbelievable. And it's funny how this fight all came about, right? The controversy in the last fight, which for me was never controversial. It was a low blow, simple as that. And I don't think we've ever seen Alexander Usyk ever look for an easy way to win. In fact, I think of all the fighters on planet Earth, he is the one who takes the hardest road to win. There's no tune-up fights for Alexander Usyk. It's the biggest fight in a heavier weight than he should even be fighting at, and he makes life harder for himself, not easier. And I think he has proven his character time and time again. But yet he was accused of not being, a real Christian because he was a cheat. He was accused of deserving an Oscar because he was a play actor and robbing Daniel Dubois of what should have rightfully been his, which was a world title. And after the Tyson Fury fight, Daniel Dubois stepped in the ring and called him out. And Alexander Usyk immediately turns to Turki Al-Sheikh and says, Mr. Excellency, make the fight. He had no problem in setting this up. And immediately you kind of think he was in the middle of talking about his father, I think at the time. It was an emotional moment. That's a time where when you've accomplished what he's done, you deserve respect. And I think he was disrespected there. And I think he took that personally, in the words of Michael Jordan. Now, in the first round, Alexander Usyk did exactly what he needed to do to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois coming in with a load of confidence, wanting to be the aggressor, wanting to be the dominant bull that he was against Anthony Joshua.
Was it 4 or 5? I don't even. I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5. But man, it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Alexander Usyk, and a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring? Did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview, Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land this jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches. But did the wet ring? Because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And a wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I was a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes in wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown temper tantrums in gyms over rings being too wet. So back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork, because he's a footwork guy. And tonight you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent.
Some say he's already a top 10 fighter all time. Others say he's still got more to prove. But one thing's clear, Usyk's not just winning fights. He's redefining greatness. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments, who had the greater career, Mayweather the strategist or Usyk the warrior?